Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ambessa, the Matriarch of War. If this is your first time checking out the channel, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at her biography and story, if there is one. We'll go on ahead and move on to any cinematics that Ambessa's in. We'll take a look at the skins, the wiki, as well as any voice lines that she has in the game. Now, obviously, we are in the middle of Arcane Season 2 as of recording this. You know, episodes 4 through 6 have just come out this week. So with episodes 7 through 9 not available to us just yet, I just want to let you guys who are watching this know that, you know, we don't know the final Arcane Season 2 like ending to Ambessa as of recording this. So if there's anything that ends up happening in that, we won't know that currently. All right, the quote says, "Any enemy of mine is an enemy of my family." All right, we know Ambessa is all about family, just like Vin Diesel himself. All right, moving on. Role is fighter, region is Noxus. Related champions, interesting that the only related champions that they actually have in here are Caitlyn and Jace. I guess that makes sense, the Piltover people, right? All right, and then we have all who know the name Medarda respect and fear the family's leader, Ambessa. As a Noxian general, she embodies a deadly combination of ruthless strength and fearless resolve in battle. Her role as matriarch is no different, requiring great cunning to empower the Medardas while leaving no room for failure or compassion. Embracing the merciless ways of the wolf, Ambessa will do whatever it takes to protect her family's legacy, even at the cost of her own children's love. She treats her family with tough love, if we can even call it love. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, at the cost of her own children's love, she's still trying to keep them safe. That's all I could really say, I guess, at the end of the day, really. I'm very interested to see what we get in the biography, if there's anything that I don't know or like that we just didn't learn from Arcane, so this will be cool. Born into one of the most powerful families in modern Noxus, Ambessa Medarda was perhaps always destined for greatness. Her family was not counted among the old noble houses, yet they had gained immense respect and influence across the empire since its founding, and young Ambessa's first exposure to bloodshed came early, watching reckoners risk their lives for a chance at glory in the arenas. Though she was too young to know the thrill of battle herself, she studied every match and internalized every move. In the aftermath of the Battle of Hildengard, her father sent her to collect the blades of fallen soldiers. Though still a child, Ambessa never once averted her eyes from the death and carnage around her, and by the end of the day, she knew death was not something to be feared, but respected. Sacrifice was a noble thing. Greatness demanded it. The Medarda family code, passed down through generations since their earliest days as traders on the Shriman coast, espoused the virtues of both the desert fox and the fearsome wolf of legend. So it was no surprise that Ambessa would choose a soldier's life, carrying the memories of her childhood lessons with her always, holding others to the ideals of familial honor and decisive action. She was a proud daughter of the Medardas, a born warrior, soon enough a general in command of several warbands, and clearly one of her grandfather Menelik's favorites as patriarch. And yet she was so much more, a woman, a lover, and a mother. In her appetite for life, Ambessa experienced it all, but the moment she held her son Kino for the first time, she finally understood what it meant to devote herself to someone unconditionally. Well, there you go. And with that came the potential for profound disappointment. While she loved him dearly, it was clear that Kino would never have the strength of a warrior in his heart. Ooh, God. I mean, okay, well, I shouldn't even be surprised that that's what I'm hearing out of Ambessa's biography. Not long after, Ambessa almost met her end in battle defending her ancestral home of Rokrund while pregnant with her daughter Mel, which I believe is what we see in the music video that came out for Ambessa a couple weeks ago. As she lay among the bodies of her allies and foes alike, she drifted near death and experienced visions that she would speak of to few others in her lifetime. Whatever it was Ambessa had seen, it alloyed her resolve and ambition. She would bend the world to her will so that any weakness in her children would not be something her enemies could exploit. Okay, so that's also, so those visions obviously are from the music video as well. From that moment, Ambessa's rise became almost meteoric. She led from the front in every battle, fearlessly staring death in the eye, and with every victory, she grew more resourceful, more daring, and more uncompromising. When old Menelik Medarda finally passed, he named no heir from his deathbed, sending several branches of the family into a conflict of succession. But Ambessa knew they clawed at heir, for this was her destiny. She defeated her rivals and vowed to forge a legacy worthy of the Medarda name, worthy of her own children's inheritance. As the new matriarch, Ambessa began to speak more often of her own personal mantra, "In all things, be the wolf." She would tolerate no weakness or dissent in those around her, lest that weakness spill over into her. She even sent her daughter Mel away to the distant city of Piltover. Years passed before Ambessa began to hear murmurs of a new and powerful invention called Hex Tech from the soft-spined idealists of Piltover, no less. Intrigued by the potential of such a discovery, Ambessa traveled to the Gilded City to visit her daughter, determined to find out if this technology could be used to leverage even more power for the Medarda family. Now, my big question when it comes to Medarda is like, does she have, I mean, I guess probably not, but does she have any loyalties at all related to like Noxus? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she really has any loyalty to like Swain or anything like that. Or like, does she want this Hextech technology literally just for her and her family or for her army? Or like, what would she do with it anyways, right? She would just like maybe take over, like, you know what I mean? Like, what does she want? What's her ultimate goal? I doubt it's to help Noxus win the war in Ionia. Like, I'm not sure, right? So I guess we'll just kind of have to see what ends up happening to Ambessa in the next couple of episodes, but still. All right, I don't think there was actually too much that we learned from this. Really, we just got kind of the background of why she is the way she is. Which we kind of already knew this. Obviously, like in all things, be the wolf is pretty much her mantra. There's obviously no mention of the Black Rose stuff in here because that is occurring right now in Arcane, and they didn't really want to like spoil it in her biography. That would have been too much. So yeah, we'll just have to keep going and see what we get from maybe the wiki or from Voicelines and just see what we get from that. All right, up next we have the Ambessa, the Matriarch of War champion trailer. It's a minute and a half, which is kind of long. Let's take a watch. Ooh.
Wish for peace.
I like the art style.
Compassion. Mercy. Yet they ignore the cost of such luxuries.
What a badass intro.
Blood for Noxus. Blood for blood.
I hear she's really OP. You guys will have to let me know.
Yet forget the brutality of sacrifice.
Sacrifice. That's what Ambessa has always been pushing, huh?
The wolf knows well what feeds the hungry pack.
The wolf.
Try harder.
Ooh, I love that voice line. Try harder. Her movement seems kind of crazy. Am I wrong?
Not peace, not mercy, only blood.
Oh, that's such a sick title. Just like a title screen. That's cool. Yeah, I really like that. That's awesome. All right, guys, we're going to dive right into this that I see at the end here called The Champion Insights, Ambessa Behind the Scenes League of Legends. 6.5 minutes, so it's a little bit of a longer watch,
Ambessa
but this is probably going to be cool.
Characters in the show. She doesn't get as much attention as the other characters, but she leaves a really big impression.
Well, season
And
2.
a lot of the early process was trying to figure out who Ambessa is based on what we've seen in the show, and how does that exactly work in League?
What does she believe in, and what would she never do?
She's a Noxian general.
She's a fighter, she's a mother, she's the head of Clan Medarda.
How exactly do we make that work?
Okay. This is kind of cool. We don't always get this for every champion, so...
The Ambessa that we see in League is plucked right from where we see her introing herself in Season 1 of Arcane.
We thought about whether or not we should make Ambessa a bit younger, but we decided against it. We felt like her prime is actually now. Because of her experience, she really built up that fortitude to keep going.
Okay, that makes sense.
One of the reasons why we went with Ambessa, one, she's an older woman, and she's really badass, and we just don't have a lot of those in our game. The second thing is about Ambessa's relationships. That familial relationship right now is not represented in League. That is a relationship that everyone can connect to in some ways.
Okay.
When we started on Ambessa, we knew who this character was. We kind of saw her personality, but we really didn't know what she did to fight. Like, how does she exist on a battlefield? What is the power fantasy of being her? How do we realize this person?
Okay. So what
The little bit we did
weapons
know
do
from
they give
Arcane
her?
Season 1 is they show her executing a small child. That level of brutality is the thing I wanted to realize with her combat. We sort of had this idea of how she's physically moving forward, how she whips things around with these
Okay, we'll get
blades.
into the
But in
abilities
terms
after
of the
this, but
mechanics, we
jeez.
had no idea. She has these 2 gauntlets that have chains wrapped around inside, and then on the end are these curved blades. And that's why she has 2 forms. She's got the I'm up close and personal with you, and also I can hit these things and like rip them back.
We wanted her weapons to feel like something that she had for a long time, something that she cherishes, and made them inspired by the Drake Hound's look.
Drake Hounds.
We wanted the shape of the blade specifically to feel unique to her and not feel like other champions.
Of
and
course.
the version felt like it could stab more, and that's very Zed. Her chains is something that could easily be Silas, so we had to make sure that she doesn't feel like Silas when she moves.
Right.
When figuring out how
that's
got
to be hard,
we
guys.
looked at
Really.
Martial art movies and anime and other resources, and what are some things that make physical sense for her body and her weapons, and how can we put that in the game?
Okay. Listen, as much as we talk about balance in video games, it's not easy, guys. Let's be real. Making a new champion.
Run past the designers, run past Fortiche, and be like, this is vaguely the area that I'm thinking about. Does this seem correct? And if we stick with it, how can we realize the character together?
That's cool. So
Players'
collaborating.
expectation of Ambessa is that she's stoic. She's built like a brick,
They kind of always shoot her from these like really low angles, so she looks really big.
which very much speak Juggernaut, but her agility is actually something that is very special about her.
Agility. So she's fast.
In her initial design document, one of them had this invincible dodge roll is the character, and it had this very funny gif of a raccoon rolling around doing full-born type stuff.
Okay.
How do we deliver the non-funny version that is all about moving in a very specific, visceral way that is to dodge things, but also to reposition themselves into the optimal spot? That's what led to the passive, this sort of loop that you're supposed to get into with her, which is this very aggressive, do a spell, do a dash, do an attack, reevaluate the battlefield, and do it again, do it again.
Okay. I can't tell how hard her character is, though.
The show in-game comes with its own restrictions. The character in-game is going to be seen only from the top view, while in the show you see it from various angles. We have to make sure that her silhouette
So now we're getting
very
into like
well
her
in-game,
look and
while
design.
still maintaining something that the players are familiar with. There's a lot of layers into Ambessa's character that we needed to reflect on her look.
Okay.
Ambessa wears her Noxian identity with pride, and that's why we see all the Noxian colors.
Yep, for
We
sure.
tried to make her feel agile by showing a little bit of skin. We made her armor feel lighter by also making it all made out of black leather. And we focused the metallic parts only on her weapons, and they stand out the most.
Okay. Yeah, I like her look and design in the game too. I think it looks good.
Ambessa overall is a very, very layered character because we
Is
want
this
to
man
make sure
making
we
the
are
voice
conveying
lines?
a
What is
whole lot
that?
of
What
different
was he
aspects of her
typing?
personality, one of which being her domineering side of
Is he the
making
voice
an
line
example of
guy?
people, making sure that she's the strongest in the room, but also showcasing again her intelligence, her leadership.
Oh,
There
he
were
is.
definitely plenty of conversations regarding making
Or he's
sure
making
we
the
were
Excel
representing
sheet
a
for
black
it.
woman authentically. I think one thing that happens very frequently when it comes to trying to represent marginalized characters, that we kind of pigeonhole them into almost this box of perfection. Ambessa really does showcase the full range of human emotions. It doesn't just become a, oh no, we have to make sure
I
the
would
black woman is
semi-agree with
super
that.
nice and kind to everyone. It's like, no, she can be a little messy, she can be a little mean, but you can also see all of her hard work and effort that she took to get there.
I would say in the show maybe we don't get to
When I
see
think
that
about how
whole
you're
side
supposed
to her,
fight
but
as Ambessa, I'd make the joke that she is making a demand of you, the player. She is demanding Noxian Medarda greatness of you. You have to be precise.
That's a lot
with
of
your input.
pressure.
You're going to commit to a movement. You're going to go fast and hit hard.
Finding a way to really just package all of that up and then have people have their pop-off moments when they're on the Rift and say, yeah, you know what? I am Matriarch of War. Like, I am an absolute baddie. I am taking everything over. I command War. I command Noxus. I command the Medardas. And I control this Rift.
I'm so excited she's there to start the show because it does feel like the beginning of a very exciting moment that is coming to League.
awesome. That was a cool video. That was like really cool to see the design aspect of Ambessa and just everything. Yeah. All right, guys, let's take a look at Ambessa's ability page here. So difficulty for her is high and the role is fighter assassin. All right, let's see what she has. So her passive is Drakehound Step. Entering an attack or movement command while casting an ability will cause Ambessa to dash a short distance once the ability is cast, granting her next attack bonus range, damage, and attack speed, and refunding energy. So when you do an attack or movement command while also casting an ability. So, okay, so I see it there a little bit. Okay, so there's a lot of like movement with her. I can see why she could be OP. Again, all I've heard about her is that she's a little bit like overpowered. Maybe it's her abilities, maybe it's just like the amount of damage she can take or the amount of damage she can do. You guys let me know in the comments. All right, her Q is Cunning Sweep, Sundering Slam. Ambessa sweeps her twin Drakehounds in a semicircle in front of her, dealing bonus damage to enemies hit by the blades. Striking an enemy will transform the next cast of this ability for a short period of time, causing her to slam her twin Drakehounds down in a line in front of her. Okay, we're seeing it both here. Dealing bonus damage to the first enemy hit. That just seems like a solid ability overall. Both of them, to be honest. Like the swipe left to right or whatever is very good, and then just a slam down, super good. It looks like it has decent range too. All right, we have the W, which is Repudiation. Ambessa gains a shield, briefly braces herself, and then slams the ground to damage nearby enemies. If she blocked any non-minion damage while bracing herself, this ability will deal increased damage. Oh, wow. If she takes damage from minions, it deals even more damage. Pretty good. Next is Lacerate. Oh, that's just an OP. That's like a God of War ability, I feel like. Or like a Devil May Cry ability. Lacerate. Ambessa whips her twin Drakehounds around herself, damaging and slowing nearby enemies. Initiating Drakehound Step from this ability causes her to strike a second time at the end of its dash. God, that just seems OP, guys. I don't know. That just seems OP that it gets to do it twice. And then the ultimate. Whoa. Okay, so she like dashes through them and then like pulls them down from in the air. Let's see it again. Wow. So yeah, Ambessa blinks to the farthest enemy champion in a line of her choosing and suppresses them upon her arrival. She then slams the enemy into the ground where they take damage and are stunned. So they get suppressed, slammed, and stunned all in one movement. I mean, these abilities just seem really good. Now, it says difficulty is high, so I can already tell, like, you got to get the Drakehound Step probably down, right? I feel like all this movement abilities, very good character. Again, I'm going to compare it to Overwatch just because that's what I can compare it to. If you think of Tracer in Overwatch, she has very, like, her difficulty is very high as well, but she is also considered one of the best damage characters in the game because her abilities are so dang good, but they're just very hard to learn and use properly. Yeah, so guys, I just want to hear from anybody that's tried Ambessa so far. Let me know how she's going in this meta, how is she overall, and how she compares to another champion, or if she's just super OP. You guys let me know all of that stuff. All right, we have a quick and short one here. It is for Ambessa in Legends of Runeterra. It's only 50 seconds. Oh, what's this song? Oh, this is a little different. They don't usually do trailers like this. Okay. All right, so she is a 4-mana 5/3. Okay, I like that. Each round, the first time I kill an enemy, create a Midnight Raid in hand, which is an ally starts a free attack. Oh, wow. Level up when you've attacked 5 times. Oh, there's Rictus. What is this song? So he gets a free attack. There's the Midnight Raid. Oh, that was an interesting level up. I feel like it didn't really have anything to do with her actual character. It was just, I don't know. Okay, that was a weird one, actually. She's a 6/4 now, and then each round, the first time I kill an enemy, rally. I like this song. Type. That was a super short one. Okay. That was a new patch coming November 6th, so that has already passed as of recording. All right, and then if you guys don't already know, I have reacted to Blood, Sweat, and Tears featuring Cheryl Lee Ralph, the music video. This is basically Ambessa's champion theme. She's not, I don't think she's going to get a separate champion theme. This is obviously also what comes up when I search for a champion theme. So yeah, this is more than likely Ambessa's song. We've reacted to it. I'll have it linked up at the top if you want to go check out the reaction if you haven't already. But yeah, this was a good song. I enjoyed it. A lot of lore in this music video as well, which is really cool. All right, guys, of course, Ambessa is not going to have a lot of skins in game. It looks like we just have the 2. We obviously have the original design, and we'll take a look at the other one in 3D as well. So here is her design. We obviously watched that video earlier in the reaction as well, where they went over kind of her design and everything like that with the leather armor here and then like the metal arms and everything like that. Yeah, I mean, this is really cool. I wish we had like her wolf mask that we've seen in season 2 of Arcane. That would be really cool to have. But let's take a look at the other skin. All right, and then the last one is Chosen of the Wolf. Okay, so maybe this one will have it. Oh, it doesn't look like it does, but it has like that gold color that for her wolf mask in the show. Okay, so they changed the armor and the metal arms a little bit. They add a lot more like blades to it, I guess, or a couple more blades and changed the design on it. Still pretty much the same. The hair is what's totally different, right? And then the crown as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the chromas. You know, this is actually just maybe because of the TV show, because of Arcane, I'm actually feeling the other skin more. And I think that's just more because it's like more to her in the show, right? And I don't think there's anything too special about this one. Yeah, she's wearing like more gold armor, I guess. And it has like that style of armor. But other than that, like the hair is fine, right? And then the new crown is different as well. But just the fact that she looks more like Ambessa in the game, I think I like the other skin a little bit better. This blue hair is actually kind of crazy though. And the pink. I didn't think they were doing that for the hair color, but that's pretty cool as well. But yeah, I think this skin is still good. I think I like the original skin actually a little bit better. You guys let me know what you think though of her two skins. All right, there is a little bit of trivia here. It says Ambessa is the second champion to be revealed for League of Legends, Wild Rift, and Legends of Runeterra around the same time after Akshan. So Akshan also got them all. I remember when we did his reaction, I was like, oh, I'm surprised he actually has everything. To date, Ambessa is the only champion that has been revealed to be announced in all games within the League of Legends IP, including Teamfight Tactics. Wow, so she's the only one, and that's got to be the case of Arcane just propelling Ambessa to be in all these things. It's just, I mean, it's just a good marketing idea, and it's just a good idea in general to have her. I mean, we should have all these champions and everything, though, truly, right? And then Ambessa is the first non-Ionian champion to use energy. Oh, okay. And then her buff flavor text reads Medarda Maxim. Drakehound Step Stacks, Don't Pity the Meek. Okay, so these are going to be some of her voice lines, I guess. We'll be getting into the voice lines later. Disrespect under Sundering, which is, that's the buff flavor text for Sundering Slam is Disrespect. We have Antichi for Repudiation, and then Unfazed for Repudiation, the Shield. And then we also have Pathetic under the flavor text for Lacerate. We'll get into the voice lines. We're actually not going to read these voice lines right now because I want to look at them later. It says the Pathetic. This is a reference to Seto Kaiba's insult to Joey Wheeler in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. And then Always Win Your Battles, which is Public Execution. And then we have Some Advice for Public Execution, the suppression version of it. And then Killing an Enemy Champion grants her a cosmetic buff that reads, for you, the day the Medardas graced your village was the most important day of your life, but for me, it was Tuesday, not the Tuesday. This is a reference to M. Bison's speech from the 1994 Street Fighter movie. Oh, I've seen that movie, but man, it's been forever, and that movie is not the greatest. But that's actually a really funny voice line. All right, let's move on to her wiki to see if we can get a little bit more info. All right, I think her wiki is actually going to have a little bit of like a recap of things from other things like the video, like her music video or the champion theme, as well as just things from Arcane in it. So I think it's a good idea to just go through here and take a look at things and just have like a refresher, I guess, even if we are in the middle of Arcane or whenever you're watching this. I think it's still a good idea to read a lot of this. So we'll start off with early life. This is Ambessa says to Mel, I will give you the world, child, if you prove you can take it. And that's in the monster you created, which I assume was the last episode in season 1. When Ambessa was 10, her father brought her to the aftermath of the Battle of Hildenard to collect weapons from the fallen in exchange for a gold coin each, exposing her to the death at tender age. Even at a young age, she realized death was not something to be feared, but to be respected. As she grew up, she chose a soldier's life, quickly rising to the ranks to become a general in command of several war bands. She became a mother of her firstborn son, Kino. While she loved him greatly, she realized he would never have the strength of a warrior in his heart. Not long after the birth of Kino, Ambessa almost met her end in defending her ancestral home of Rokrund. As she lay among the bodies drifting near death, she experienced visions induced by a lone wolf. Oh, and they're showing kindred here, who had found the surviving woman not yet giving in to death. The visions that Ambessa had seen that day had strengthened her resolve and ambition. She would bend to the world to her will so that any weakness her children might have could not be exploited. When her grandfather Menelik Medarda passed away, he had named no heir. Several branches of the family had vied for succession. However, they were all outmatched by Ambessa. She vowed to forge a legacy worth of Medarda name. I feel like we heard about this literally just in Act 2 of Season 2. I could be wrong. Now she tried to imbue the same principles in her two children, particularly in her daughter Mel, whom Ambessa tried to mold into a warrior and leader willing to do whatever is necessary to ensure their survival from a young age. This seemingly proved futile, however, as her son Kino preferred diplomacy and dismissed war as a failure of statecraft, and Mel adapted his way of thinking, considering war and killing only as a last resort. Eventually, she sent Mel away from their home to Piltover, pointing out that her sentimentality would work well among the soft-spined idealists, and would later use the excuse that it was for her to oversee their family's interests in the city. In truth, she sent her away because she could no longer bear Mel's disapproval of her decisions. All right, so now we have her visit to Piltover. Because you weakened me, I could endure the look in your eyes whenever I made the necessary decisions to keep us safe. So that's another quote from the Monster You Created episode. Mel eventually came to power in Piltover as a counselor and the wealthiest person in the city, and she would later sponsor the research of Jace Talus, whose Hex Tech enterprise revolutionized trade and travel around the world, thus having a hand in Piltover's undeniable progress. Apparently too distracted to have been able to do anything at the time, her son Kino was killed by a powerful man who Kino offended. Ambessa realized that the man was not done with his grudge and would strike again, could have enough resources to potentially overpower the Medarda family. To aid their victory in a potential war, Ambessa visited Piltover in hopes of getting her hands on weaponized Hex Tech. Now, the part about Kino, I'm recording this after Act 2 of Season 2. I don't know what's actually happened yet. Like, the whole Mel stuff has still not been revealed to me. So, yeah, just bear with me on reading some of this stuff. Having heard news of the city's ongoing conflict with Zon, she tried to convince both Mel and Jace to finally engage the Undercity in war and use his Hextech weapons for it. Mel determinedly refused and convinced the council to avoid any war-inciting actions as well, but Jace was swayed enough to attack one of Silco's shimmer factories with Vi when Jace accidentally killed a boy. However, Jace completely changed his mind. Mel confronted her about her manipulation of Jace, and she finally told Mel about the impending conflict with Kino's killer at Noxus. She then asked Mel to let the war happen, after which he would be welcome back home and at her side. Mel would ultimately turn down the offer, taking off her family ring as she agreed to Jace's proposal of peace with Zon by granting them their requested independence. All right, appearance. Ambessa is a muscular brown-skinned woman with light brown eyes. She has coily hair in varying shades of gray to black, worn loosely above the shoulders. She wears Noxian-styled clothing befitting her rank, mostly made up of black and red colors, with metallic silver elements, and a red cloak with black fur worn to one side. She is shown to have battle scars on her face and upper body. In her youth, Ambessa's hair was orange-colored and braided all around. All right, personality. Guys, if this also, by the way, if this doesn't confirm things, on the right-hand side here, related characters, it literally has LeBlanc. Okay, just saying. Personality. Ambessa is a confident person showing no shame or emotional weakness. Merciless to her enemies, she prefers aggression over passivity due to the way her father brought her up and the Noxian culture she was raised in, as she was also obtained through her epiphany after agonizing while pregnant during her warrior year. Accompanying her ruthlessness is brazen indulgence, freely enjoying the decadence of Piltover and the local cuisines of foreign lands. Eloquent and well-versed, particularly in military history, she is capable of manipulation and violence, so long as it serves her and her family's interests. Despite her relaxed stance on using violence, Ambessa does not appear to disregard diplomacy entirely, as despite Kino adopting a purely diplomatic philosophy, Kino was not exiled like Mel was. Additionally, Ambessa is selective with her violence, expressing a readiness to kill one if it means avoiding a larger conflict in the future. She is a survivalist above all else, willing to do whatever it takes to protect herself and, more importantly, her family. Ambessa is one who respects aggression in any form, either in diplomacy or in war, but she also values cunning and guile, so long as it does not detract from a show of force. Ambessa describes this to Mel as a need for her to embody both the fox and the wolf. Although one can embody an aspect of one or the other, one cannot succeed in her family without embodying both, but the most atrocious offense to her is a showcase of weakness and ineptitude. What a freaking personality. Like, that description of her personality is perfect. All right, the two abilities, all they have here is skilled melee combatant. Ambessa is a skilled melee combatant. While she has been known to wield a sword-like weapon similar to a Katar, her true weapons of choice are her twin Drakehounds, a pair of crescent blades that Ambessa whips at her foes on lengths of chain to deadly effect. Ambessa also shows excellent reflexes and agility, able to cleanly decapitate someone with one swipe of a blade. I think the craziest thing about her is her agility. Mastery of statecraft and diplomacy. While she is primarily a master of the field, her takeover of the Medarda house and meteoric rise through the Noxian political and military scene clearly highlight how she can apply her shrewd and tactic mind to politics as well as war. All right, so relationships. We have Mel, Kino, Alora, Jace, and the Council. So these are all going to be refreshers, but I'm still going to read them anyways. We obviously have Mel. Mel Medarda was exiled from the Medardas after Ambessa accused her of harboring weakness that was unbecoming of the family. Although for years it was presumed that Ambessa exiled her for that reason alone, it is later claimed by Ambessa that she exiled Mel to prevent her from influencing her ruthless decision-making and weakening her, something she could not permit to happen to anyone in her family, including herself. Ambessa continuously holds Mel to these standards, however, even after Mel's exile, dismissing her emotional outbursts and saying she taught her better than to let her emotions run loose. Even so, Ambessa holds a soft spot for Mel with a desire to protect the family and sought to have her rejoin the Medarda house after Kino's death. There's a moment in like the first episode, right? Like initially after the attack from Jinx, that you actually see Ambessa run straight to Mel and ask if she's okay. Like that's one of the first things you see at the beginning of season 2. So she really cares for Mel, even though she treats Mel kind of like dirt, right? It's that tough love kind of parenting though. All right, so Kino Medarda. Although Ambessa was dismissive of Kino's purely diplomatic approach to statecraft, he was not exiled like Mel was, which suggests that Ambessa believes Kino's philosophy isn't wholly wrong, simply incomplete. When Ambessa delivers the news of Kino's death to Mel, Ambessa shows dismay over his loss, believing she was too distracted to prevent his death from occurring. All right, we have Allura. Ambessa addresses Allura by name upon arriving to Piltover. Their relationship is unknown, but they are at the very least acquainted with one another. All we really know is, I guess, Allura was like Mel's best friend or one of her great friends. So probably just, yeah, she lived back in Noxus with them. All right, Jace Talus. Ambessa uses Jace to try and incite war between Piltover and Zaun and put Jace into a position to develop Hextech weaponry. Once developed, Ambessa wishes to use them for her family to ensure that the Noxian that Kino crossed with doesn't slaughter the rest of the Medarda family as revenge. Ambessa uses Jace and manipulates him into impulsively attacking against Zaun, which succeeds. When Mel confronts Ambessa about her manipulation of Jace, she is indifferent about this fact. Jace is simply a means to an end. And then we have the Council of Piltover. Ambessa believes the Council lacks agency against the Zaunite threat and allowed the problem to accumulate over years, doing nothing to prevent its advance. Ambessa tells Jace that the Council is at risk of letting themselves get blindsided by Zaun in an upcoming war, and that he would need to properly prepare for war if they were to avoid this fate. Well, we know what's going on in Season 2, but we don't know what's happened at the end of Season 2 during this recording. Cool. Down here, it actually shows Arcane show appearances. She was not in the first 7 episodes. She technically was only in episode 8 and 9 of that season, and then she's, of course, been in all of the episodes so far in season 2. All right, guys, taking a look at her her content here. All we really have is the biography we read. Oh, short story, Ambessa Chosen of the Wolf. I did not read that. All right, guys, I didn't know about this. I just learned about this, but Ambessa Chosen of the Wolf, it's not a short story. I looked it up. It is actually a physical book that you can buy. I didn't realize that. There's a hardcover and everything. It's a pre-order. It's not officially out until February 18th of 2025. So pretty cool. I might have to pick that up. That'd be pretty cool to pick up. I don't know about the author at all. If you guys know anything about C.L. Clark, let me know. Of course, we have the Arcane TV series, and then we've seen the music video Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And the only trivia is Ambessa's name originates from the Ethiopian origin Ambessa, which translates as lion, in Amharic, symbolizing strength and bravery. Very fitting. All right, guys, that is it for the wiki. All right, guys, we are going to start off with Ambessa's special interactions first, and then we also have the Chosen of the Wolf special interactions as well for her. Of course, these are uploaded by Skin Spotlight. Okay, here we go.
Jericho Swain. A raven will never kill a wolf.
I would not underestimate him.
The
Or a
exile.
raven.
You betrayed your nation for a useless cause. Pathetic.
Very Ambessa.
Draven. The man of progress.
I mean, to be fair, her and Draven, right? Like, I haven't even reacted to Draven, but come on. I can tell just Draven is cocky.
You stood on the shoulders of giants to build your legacy. I could use a massage. Tell me, are you good with your hands?
Ambessa's
The
tight.
desert rose. As
Oh.
wild as they say. I look forward to this.
That would be a cool
The
fight.
Hand of Noxus. Hope you're not too attached to that title.
Ooh.
All vision, no foresight.
Okay, hold on. These
Another
voice lines
dead
go hard.
traitor. If only you'd made something of yourself, Riven. Your
She's
brother
disappointed
must be
in
ashamed
Riven.
He's related to such filth. Might doesn't solve every problem, boy.
Oh,
A
that's
rose may
interesting.
have thorns, but a wolf has fangs.
I like it.
Be proud, Noxian. There is no greater honor than to face death without fear.
Okay.
For a life of struggle and sublimation, consider your death a gift. War begins with the first drop of blood. The
Well,
world
yeah.
kneels to the Medardas. I
Pentakill,
will
okay.
squash you, bug. Your hide will become my plate mail, dragon.
Elemental
An elder
Drake, huh?
dragon. Your power will hasten my conquest.
Okay, these are
I've
interesting.
felled mightier foes than you, Baron.
That's crazy
I
to
didn't
say.
realize I'd get to sample the local fare so soon.
Oh,
Quit acting the fool. Is there no one worth fighting? Someone's a glutton for punishment.
oh God, I don't like that
Most of you
one.
will die. An easy sacrifice.
Most of you will
Stand
die.
and fight. Medadas do not suffer the useless. Noxus prizes strength above all else. But sacrifice is the mark
Ah,
of a
she says
true
something like
warrior.
this in Act 2.
I demand absolute loyalty from my soldiers. Do not test me. As your general, all of your mistakes reflect on my leadership. You would be wise to remember that.
Man, I would not want to work
Distractions
under
create
her.
wounds that never close. But my children are worth every scar.
Ooh,
strayed too
I liked
far.
that one.
Slipped through my fingers like sand. I will not lose my daughter to the same fate.
Okay.
I did not truly know love until I held Kino in my arms for the first time.
Wow.
Weaknesses can be exploited. I turn mine into strengths.
Wow, I love
Mercy
that
is
one.
Foolish. We do what we must to survive. The
Also kinda not
battlefield
wrong
is a game
sometimes.
won with cunning and control. Like the fox, we watch.
Oh, here we go.
Listen. And like the wolf, we strike at first opportunity.
Okay, so she's
I
like a
will
fox
set
when
the
she's
world
watching and listening.
ablaze to protect my family.
Wow.
Strength deepens with sacrifice, and I have given everything. The shadow beneath my daughter grows longer.
Ooh.
By securing power, I can protect her.
Ooh, I like that one. The shadow beneath my daughter grows longer. Ooh, this is literally her move in Piltover. Like straight up, like right here.
We cannot spoil the young. This world is unforgiving. Tunnels in your eyes, lava in your veins.
Oh, she says this in the show.
shadows in your heart.
So the lava in your veins I recognize. And because I saw like Warwick ends up getting like lava in his veins in that episode too, I think.
All will be crushed by the full might of the Medadas. A pity you will not live long enough to regret this. Look at you. Such wasted potential.
Me?
Grovel before me, or I'll subject you to a fate worse than death. You think yourself my equal?
Oh. I love the laugh.
Requesting my audience? How bold. Others have lost their heads for less.
Wow.
Your arrogance was your undoing. Never speak ill of my family.
Ooh, I think we heard that voice line as well.
Should have pledged your loyalty to me. The choice is simple. Yield or be cut down.
Okay.
Vision, might, even guile. You lacked all of them. A waste of my energy. All is fair in love and war. The frail have no business in battle.
True.
Looks like I need to find my entertainment elsewhere.
Okay, recall. Oh.
Perhaps there's time to sample the local cuisine.
Oh my.
A mother's work is never done. Can't leave the children unattended for long.
Oh, that's a funny one.
Rest is just fuel for the bloodshed to follow. Wrath will be met with wrath. I will regain control.
All right, these are respawns.
Remain centered. Desperation is the doorway to oblivion.
Ooh, desperation is the doorway to oblivion. That's kind of a cool one.
Their insolence will be repaid in blood. Any enemy of mine is an enemy of my family.
Okay.
Fall by my hand.
Okay, now we got the abilities.
Your execution. Blood for blood. Kneel. Crush beneath
Kneel.
me. Taste the dirt. Worthless.
Parry.
Outclassed. You have no bite. You're in my range. With precision. My Drake hounds bite deep. This ends in ruin.
Ooh, the
Looking
ultimate.
for me? Only fools flee.
Looking for me is a cool one.
Soul is strong, where the heart is weak. My children are my greatest strength and greatest weakness. To those who underestimate me, I will prove you wrong.
Hey, I like that voice line.
I will never stumble, never break. I am unrivaled. A warrior, a mother.
We'll have to see in Act 3.
There is no difference. Through cunning,
Oh, I love
sweat,
that. Hold
and
on. Roll that
steel,
one back. A mother, a warrior, there is no difference. That is a fire voice line. Shout out to our mothers out there. Shout out, Mom.
There is no difference.
Like, for real.
Through cunning, sweat, and steel, I shape my destiny. No enemy or ally will stand in my way.
Or ally.
Trust must be
Ooh.
earned, but few are ever worthy.
Okay.
There is no greater motivation than grief.
Mm.
Even pawns have a role to play.
True.
I will live
True.
to see tomorrow. I've fought and won countless battles. My place in this world, I have earned it, bled for it. Kino, my son, you were a fool. Everything is for my family's legacy. Medadas are loyal to our own. I have known death since I was a child. My grandfather made sure of it.
Oh, okay.
We earn our peace through conquest.
We earn our peace through conquest. The logic there is not logicking, but sure.
am owed. The Medadas live on.
R.I.P.
Mel, I go to my ancestors. Hubris ends in death. Respect the Medadas.
Okay.
Kneel before me.
Another kneel.
Amuse me. My steel never dulls. You are nothing. Fight with dignity. Abysmal.
Abysmal.
Ancestors, hear our thunder.
Man, they gave her a lot of voice
Such
lines. I love it.
mediocrity. Fall in line.
For like every
Die
individual
with
thing.
honor. Embrace your demise. How precious.
Oh, I love the delivery on that one.
You challenge me? Look me in the eye.
Oh.
Pathetic pup. Pain, the best teacher. Ah, disobedient
Ha.
child. Ha, 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 ha.
There we go. Ooh. All right. I loved some of those. She had, I mean, come on, guys. She has some fire lines in this show. She's got some fire lines here in League of Legends. Some of them, I was like, oh, I think I've heard that. I think I've heard that, right? You guys will have to let me know. There might have been even some more that I missed that she might have said in like season 1 that I'm just not recalling or something. But for sure, like some of these, or like they were maybe a little bit different in the show. Some of these, she does say similar things in season 2 so far of Arcane. A lot of these are fire. I think that one about being a warrior and a mother is such a fire. Right here, I found it. A warrior, a mother, there is no difference. That is such a fire line, in my opinion. There's a lot of good lines in here, guys. Obviously, family is a big thing with her. A waste of like energy, useless people. Like that's get out of her way, right? Like we all know Ambessa at this point. I don't even need to explain to you guys anything about these voice lines. But yeah, guys, these were fantastic. I really like these. I do want to check out the other. We have some more voice lines for her. The Chosen of the Wolf Skin has some voice lines for it as well. Let's go ahead and see if those are any different. All right, guys, we are listening to the Chosen of the Wolf Ambessa full voice special interactions. Of course, again, by Skin Spotlights.
Your eyes betray you, General. In their
Swain?
depths, I see a usurper.
Oh.
What a pleasure to end your treachery.
Okay, she's coming after Swain, guys. Makes sense, though.
Wolf and lamb,
Kindred.
do you wish to test my worthiness?
Ooh.
It was an honor, Wolf. I look forward to resuming the chase.
Oh, this is cool.
I foiled many assassins, girl.
Katarina.
You will be no different. Speed is no substitute for wit, assassin.
I mean,
The Gilded Spearman
Katarina, though?
returns. I've been waiting for this rematch.
rematch.
Who could have guessed this would come to pass, Spearman?
Okay, so hold on. Rematch.
Surely someone among the dead is a good masseuse. Dying again would be less painful than hearing you speak. Pray that your dismal afterlife is more forgiving than Volraknan.
Volraknan?
Have
What is
a head
that?
start. It'll make ending your life more fun. The weakest link, always first to break.
First
Know
kill.
this, hunters! The eternal chase cannot be outrun.
The eternal chase,
Witness
meaning
my
death.
deeds, Varachnan.
Oh.
They will ring out in this arena for eternity.
Oh, the voice is different there.
If trespassers wish to hasten their journey to the afterlife, who am I to deny them? Stay sharp. Those who lose their focus never survive the hunt.
Okay.
I am Wolf's judgment. Any who dare breach Varachnan will suffer by my hand. The eternal chase begins. This battle is my blessing. Our quarry is within reach. Do not let them escape.
Okay.
I was torn from the living sooner than I'd hoped. But my destiny has become so much greater.
Oh.
Varachnan, Wolf's glorious afterlife.
Okay.
Those blessed to enter are revered for eternity. All my life, my ancestors have guided me. Let them witness my glory. I wear these scars with pride. They are my power, my history.
Okay. That makes sense for
These
her.
have become mine to conquer. I shall revel in the hunt. The other chosen warriors cower before my strength. As they should.
I love that laugh.
Those who fail my test are undeserving of Varachnan.
Okay, okay, I see.
To the child I was unable to protect, I would have given you the world.
Ooh.
My deeds among the living were so great, even the dead took notice. Another hiding spot snuffed out.
Destroy turret. Okay.
Mortal materials never last. They thought this could stop me? Ha!
Wait a minute. You know what I just got thought of? Okay, so clearly there's something going on. I guess the chosen of the wolf Ambessa might be like an undead Ambessa. Does this mean Ambessa is gonna die? That's my prediction in the third act of Arcane, I guess. I don't know anymore though.
My spirit unleashed!
My spirit unleashed.
Behold our glory! Blessed by the wolf! Unconventional tools for a hunt.
Open shop. Oh, okay.
Only the worthy should possess such weaponry. Is Wolf aware of your presence here?
Oh.
My next match will be a spectacle indeed. Will this be stronger than a new scar? I'm just as good at hunting bargains.
That's
I
funny.
will not ask for help twice.
Oh, I like the
A
ping
fierce
voice
hunter
lines.
draws
Okay.
near. Keep your eyes sharp.
Okay, I like this.
I bring Wolf's judgment. I see all the wolf requires.
Wards.
Cowards cannot hide. Expose their fear. With each scar, my power grows.
Oh, level up. Okay.
This world enhances my gifts. The Medadas would be proud. My deeds honor Varachnan.
Volraknan. I like the way she says it.
Time to catch my quarry.
Level to R.
Your defeat will be on display for all to see.
Ooh.
Curious. It is not often the hunted seek out their hunter. Run or hide. It makes no difference. I will catch you.
I like that one.
The chosen of the wolf has graced you with her presence. I've faced my death. Are you prepared for yours? Was that the best this realm could muster? A meaningless legacy. You embarrass your ancestors.
Oh, that's an insult.
Unworthy mortal. No one will miss you. Make
No
peace
one
with your
will
mediocrity.
miss you. Make peace with your mediocrity. Jeez. We're getting in deep with these.
Fitting. A coward's death. Struck from this plane and the next.
Dang.
Wolf's judgment, my judgment, is absolute. Varachnan does not accept guests. Wolf, I am not done. Death is not the end.
Death is not
Was
the
I
end. Interesting.
Unworthy? Leave from life.
Ooh, jeez.
Sever and split. Wolf Fury. Bow before your end.
Ooh, I like that
I will
bow.
crush you. Strike them down.
Man, she's doing a good job with these voice lines.
Sloppy effort.
Sloppy.
Try harder. The unworthy shall perish. Hounds of war. Do not oppose me. Join your ancestors.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Welcome, death. This hunt is over.
It's the ultimate.
The dead do not need
Get a
rest,
recall?
but I will partake. Every hunt
I will
requires
partake.
moments of respite. They are spared, but not for long. The hunt is eternal.
The hunt is eternal.
Even in death, I indulge in mortal delights.
Weird.
I
Okay.
must go. Volrachnan cannot lose its sharpest hunter. It seems a massage is in order.
Massage again.
My judgment will not fail us again, Wolf. Little do they know, their true test has only just begun. Surely Volrachnan will overlook that misstep.
Okay, respawn.
Death is but a harbinger of greatness.
Is it?
The eternal chase will not be delayed. Kino, my son, I will always watch over you.
Oh, okay.
Wolf does not
No mention of
tolerate
Mel yet
disobedience,
on this
nor will I.
voice line.
A clear mind is necessary for victory. This form is proof of my renown.
Okay.
How will the Medardas fare without my leadership? Every wound a mark of my triumph. Life beyond death is everything I imagined.
Okay, interesting.
Steady hands secure the kill. Worth is shown through action. Greatness cannot be taught, only
Ooh.
seized.
Ooh, see, now that's a good one. Greatness cannot be taught.
My family still empowers me, even here.
Oh, interesting.
Fear sweetens the hunt. The price of legacy is steep. This strength was always my destiny. Every life taken was in preparation for this honor.
Interesting. Okay.
Silence before the strike. If only grandfather could see me now. Not all who are chosen are worthy.
Okay, fair.
No time for hesitance atop the food chain. There is thrill in the chase. Do better. Obey my judgment.
Okay, I like the attack voice lines.
When will you learn?
Yeah.
Accept destiny. You flee, I pursue. You lack conviction. Pathetic.
Oof. Pathetic.
Mediocre.
Oh, the mediocre one hits harder.
Abandon regret. Think before you act. Your life is forfeit. Living bones shatter. Such futility. The weak will break. I bring you death.
Okay.
These hounds bite.
Okay, I like that one. That one's good.
Face the end.
I have theories. So I like that these voice lines were different. That's cool. So we're getting the perspective of Ambessa. Let me read what she actually is. Like, what is her deal? So for the chosen of the wolf, Ambessa, it says, "Your chosen has arrived, dear wolf. Those who came before her paved the way for this moment. The Medardas will mourn the loss of her and her unborn child, and yet I see a thread that ties her still to the living. Ambessa, the matriarch of war, does her destiny lie in Volrachnan." These were a lot of the same things. I would say there was no mention of Mel. There was one voice line for Kino, but a lot of it was just like, death. I'm here to chase you. I'm here to, you know, bring you to death. Like, this is that's what I'm doing. Like, this is undead or, you know, dead version of Ambessa. And her goal is to just bring you also with her because she's the chosen of the wolf. I did like the little two things here with Swain. And then she also interacted with Kindred and Katarina and Pantheon. This one says, I've been waiting for this rematch. So are we saying in canon that Ambessa and Pantheon have fought or what? Because I know this is a different skin line. I think that would be really cool, but would it make sense? Not really. All right. Other than that, though, I think most of these were kind of similar to, you know, what we already had with the original Ambessa voice lines, which means they were really good. Voice actress does a great job of delivering these. I think it's not even a complaint. I think this Chosen of the Wolf Ambessa, the effect that they did to it, it's just like a little bit of an echo. They didn't really do anything special with it. And I don't know what they could have done. And I understand, I guess the whole point of it is she's like an undead person, or I don't even know what exactly she's supposed to be, but she is a dead person. And so I guess the echo kind of makes that, you know, a little bit make more sense. So I do get why they did it, but maybe I thought like the echo was like kind of whatever. All right, guys, of course, I want to talk about where Ambessa could go. She's been fantastic in season 2. Very smart character, very like vigilant in battle, very insane in battle. We haven't seen Act 3 again. I just want to reiterate that. But yeah, we can't deny that Ambessa is a really, really cool character. She's all about family, like Vin Diesel. She's a very good warrior, and she's smart. Even though she's been outwitted by Caitlyn in Act 2 of Season 2, you know, that was a rare moment for her because she did trust Caitlyn a little bit, and she kind of got bit in the ass for it. So we'll just have to see what ends up happening. And overall, though, you guys will have to let me know your thoughts of Ambessa as a character, where she ranks maybe amongst, like, is she one of your favorite characters in Arcane? Just let me know anything you guys think about Ambessa and like your thoughts and her character and everything in the show. In terms of where I like to do this, in terms of where champions could go in the future, obviously depending on how the show ends, I can't really say too much about it right now. My one theory, right, is she dies. I guess the only other theory is somehow she does get Hex Tech and for future wars for Noxus or something, right? And that's a bad thing, but that might lead into the next show for League of Legends. And that'll be cool at the same time. So I don't know. All right, guys, Ambessa was a great one. I think that's going to do it for the reaction, guys. Please leave a thumbs up on the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. I have a bunch of other League of Legends reactions you can check out. We'll have Arcane up as well as soon as possible. As of recording this, guys, I will not have the Arcane final episodes up this weekend. They are going to be a little bit delayed because I will be busy / out of town this weekend, so I won't be able to have them up right away. But guys, subscribe to the channel. Check out the other League of Legends stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.